Namaskar friends, 28th of February is back, so the National Science Day is back. I wish you all a very happy National Science Day. All of us know that National Science Day is celebrated to commemorate the birthday of the greatest scientist that India has ever produced, Sir C.V. Raman. Sir C.V. Raman's contribution was the Raman effect, which has changed the world of science. Celebration of National Science Day is not only about the birthday of Sir C.V. Raman, it's about the recognition we give to the greatest scientists that India has produced. Now, what does this celebration of National Science Day mean? Does it mean that we garland the photos of the greatest scientists and recall and recognize all their contributions, or something else? As an administrator in the school, I feel that these celebrations must set up a platform to build a culture of science in the society. The teachers, the students, and the society must work in tandem to build this culture. మనము పట్టుబట్టలు కట్టుకున్నప్పుడు అమెరికా వాళ్ళకి కట్టుబట్టలు కూడా లేవు. దిస్ ఈజ్ వాట్ ద తెలుగు పీపుల్ సే ఎవ్రీ టైమ్, మీనింగ్ దట్ when Indians were wearing silk cloths, the Americans didn't even have the knowledge of clothing. But things have changed. India is lagging behind as far as science is concerned in many fields. Of course, we have picked up in the last 20 odd years, but still we are lagging very much behind as far as science is concerned. From top one position, we are elsewhere today. But this position is once again changed. The Indian science has been revived since the times of Sir C.V. Raman. He was the first person to bag a Nobel Prize as well as the field of science is concerned. 1930, we had the first Nobel Prize in science, the field of science as far as India is concerned. 2021, if I count the number of Nobel Prizes in science, I can count it on fingers. This is not acceptable. Maybe in cases there was some partiality, there was some misunderstanding, misfortune, but definitely we are lagging behind as far as the world of science is concerned. For the last 20 years, we might have picked it up, but there is an urgent need to change that culture and put India as the forerunner, or put India in the driver's seat of science of the world. As a person of science, I somehow feel that an unnecessary conflict is being created between Indian culture and science. People, because of half knowledge, people, because of ignorance, are creating this rift between culture and science. There are many instances wherein Indian culture has been proved to be more than science. Take the example of fasting on different occasions. Indians have been practicing fasting for thousands of years now. Now, the concept of fasting has been used by the Japanese professor Osumi to win the Nobel Prize on autophagy. His work on autophagy, based on the concept of fasting, has won the Nobel Prize for him and Japan in 2016. We also talk of biodiversity. What is biodiversity? Biodiversity is nothing but saving the different species, saving each and every species, whether it is animal or plant on the world. Now, what does our culture do? We worship snakes. We worship snakes because they are not gods, because we want to protect them. In the same way, we worship different animals. We worship pigs, we worship dogs, we worship a turtle, we worship a lion, a tiger, and we worship each and every plant like the neem, the banyan, etc. Why do we do so? Is it not biodiversity? Is it not at the aim? Is it not aimed at protecting different species of the world? Yes, it is. Now, what is modern biodiversity telling us? It is nothing but an old wine in a new bottle. The Indian culture is being presented as modern science today. Now, because of our half knowledge, we are hurting ourselves, we are hurting the Indian science. So please, people who are unnecessarily commenting on Indian culture, try to know what is science and what is non-science. Know the difference between a superstition and science. Then only India can go forward, go ahead in the field of science. Because tender minds, if a teacher, if a person injects or says something which is not desirable, that gets imprinted in the child's mind, and in the future also it may not be wiped off. Please be careful. Try to know what is science and what is non-science, what is superstition and what is science, then talk to the students. So this is respecting our culture, knowing our culture, understanding our culture is the best way to improve the science, quality of science in India. Another thing is that as far as India is concerned, the application part is missing a lot. Theoretically, we are masters. We produce largest number of graduates. We produce largest number of postgraduates in science. But everything is on paper. Everything is in degrees. Application part is very less as far as India is concerned. As a part of application, we are organizing science fairs. What I have observed is, in these science fairs, we lift everything from YouTubes. We lift everything from internet and present as it is. A decade ago, when the YouTube was not available, at least people borrowed the ideas and the project or the experiment was done, the implementation was done in their own way. Now it's 100% lift from the YouTube to your presentation table. This has to stop. For the past 3 or 4 years, I have been observing the projects or the experiments presented to Inspire Awards. If you go and observe, you find that almost 10 to 20 schools present the same concept and 1 or 2 schools get the awards. Now the problem is not with the students, not with the teachers, not with the judges. The problem is with the system. This has to change. At least some originality, at least some improvisation. If the same thing is presented, at least we expect some improvisation. Instead of 100% lift and presentation here, some improvisation is expected in these science fairs. Then only the student understands, the students gets the idea of what is creativity and what is identifying a problem and what is giving a solution to the problem. The biggest thing or the biggest problem which I have observed is in the science fairs, which are not going well, which are not good for the country as far as science is concerned. Teachers, please, guides, please, organizers, please, look into these matters. Even a non-science person who is skilled enough can present that experiment. Unless the scientific temper is improved, unless the scientific attitude is improved in a child, science fair is nothing more than a labor work. It's almost some work done, some labor wasted. So the concept has to be understood, the presentation has to be improvised, if not original. If not original in many of the cases, please take care that the project is improvised. Take for the example, what is improvisation? Take for the example, the initial computer was almost the size of a very big building. Now the improvisation started reducing the size of the computer, and now today we know what is the size of the computer. Similarly, there are many innovations wherein improvisation has been done. Please look for improvisation, suggest for improvisation and cooperate for improvisation. Don't entertain, don't encourage the replicas of the things which have been presented earlier. So this will change, and application has not only has to do something in the society as well, not only in the science space. For example, what I have observed in the Haritaharam programs or the mass plantation programs is whenever there is plantation program, the people come, the education department, the Gram Panchayat department and other departments who are asked to plant these on different occasions. What they do is they dig pits of 1 to 1.5 feet and plant the saplings. It has to be understood with the knowledge of botany, with the knowledge of plant science. It has to be understood that there are many plants which can be grown just by throwing or sprinkling the seeds. Just throw the seeds and they will turn into plants and they will grow into trees. There are many species which can adapt to different conditions, which can adapt to what I can say, scarcity of water, and they can just grow on their own. Now, what I have observed is there is unnecessary wastage of money, unnecessary wastage of labor. For example, take some custard apple trees, just throw them, sprinkle them away. If they are protected, if they are not damaged, automatically they will grow and they will fruit, turn into trees and fruits. But for those things also a lot of money is wasted. So students are the future citizens of India, must understand the difference between a plant which can grow wildly and which needs a lot of nursing. So if this practical aspect is not known to the students, or not the knowledge is not given to the students, what is the use? So practically during the Haritaharam, during the mass plantation programs, during any type of plantation, it has to be, the practical knowledge has to be given to the students. So when they are throwing the seeds and when they are growing on their own, and when they plant a tree or a variety which cannot grow on their own, they know what is the difference between a wild variety and a domesticated variety. They know the difference between adaptation and non-adaptation. These things have to be taught at the ground level or a practical level. This is very much important. And similarly, in case of conditions, health hazards, cases of COVID-19 or any other epidemic or endemic, whatever it is, practical knowledge should be imparted to the students, which will develop the spirit of scientific aptitude. It will develop the scientific temper in the student. So at the end of the day, what I want to say is, National Science Day celebrations must not be for mere celebrations. It should be a day which sets the pace. It should be a day which sets the platform for making India into a science hub, a hub of Nobel laureates in science, a celebration which creates students or which turns its children into future scientists. Thank you.